Christine Waldrop. Thank you so much for being on Heart of the City.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, we are so excited to be sitting down with you. If people don't know, you own a fabulous floral and gift shop in Ottawa, which is just beautiful in all ways. And yeah, your just heart for design and events and beautiful things and creating is so inspiring to me. So glad to be talking to you today.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So take us back to the blend of, take us back to your first love for like design and florals. Like, where did that begin?
I was inspired by my great-grandmother.
Oh.
I mean, that's truly where it came from, but I didn't realize that actually until I actually opened the shop and I really got into it. And then I realized that that's where it came from because I grew up watching her go out in her gardens and gather flowers and make arrangements for people or church or, whatever. And she was doing that all the time. So I now know that that's
sweet.
Where it
When
came
did that
from.
dawn on you?
Fairly early on into it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, because people would ask like what you just
Right,
asked.
true.
And so I started thinking about it because I hadn't really thought about it before.
Isn't that sweet?
Yep.
People's
Very
influence
thankful for her.
that you don't even know. That's so great. So you raised children for a lot of your life. You have two beautiful girls. And so like when did you know it was time to kind of do something for yourself again and start a business?
My youngest was a junior in high school.
Okay.
And I had been doing different volunteer projects throughout the years, raising them for events and not specifically necessarily floral, but just like events. And so she was a junior, and I think in the back of my mind, I knew what was coming.
I know, the empty nest.
Yes. And so anyway, I just kind of leaned into that, and I actually just started getting asked more and more to do things. So things just have a natural way of happening the way they're supposed to in your seasons of life. And so that's kind of how it really got going because I just kept getting asked more and more. And knowing that she was going to be, we were going to be empty nest soon, I just started saying yes more.
Yeah.
And I was out of my garage for 3 years.
Wow. I remember seeing that garage
Yes,
early
you
on.
did.
Yeah. That was so cool. Now to know the store and all the things. That's awesome.
Yep.
So you started getting asked more. But have you always kind of had an interest in like business or entrepreneurship? Because you could have just kept volunteering, or you could have, gone and worked for some other shop or boutique. Like what was it about wanting to start your own and like have your own vision for it?
I think just that, like to just be able to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Before I had children, I was a nurse. And so I did that for like almost 9 years. And then having the children and raising them. And then this was allowing me to do something creative because I am a very creative person.
Yes, you
and I
are.
like to do things like that. We would have people over all the time for dinner parties or whatever, just at our home. And I think it was just a natural evolution of progressing with all of that,
Totally.
but under my own terms.
Yeah, I can see that. So looking back, does any part of you wish you started Blluum sooner?
No.
Yeah, best time. You did it at the best time.
It was. No, I would not trade my years of raising children for anything. That was
so sweet.
And still is the most important job that I've ever done. So
No, that
nope.
makes me happy. What have you learned about yourself stepping into business later in life?
That it's never too late.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Never too late. Whatever you dream you can do, it does not matter what time in your life that is.
Yeah,
And
I love that.
I think long gone are the days where people feel like when they get into their 50s that everything's over. It's
Heck
not.
no.
Like it's just really getting going.
Yeah,
is my
especially with
thought.
kids in the mix because you start feeling that freedom around that time
Yes,
for a
yes.
lot of people. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
I mean, they're always your children.
Of course.
But-
of course. Yeah. They're always there. They're always
Yeah.
going to be a responsibility. Yeah. But a little less demanding, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How has your faith played a role in your business? Like just in the way you treat people and the hours you keep, whatever it may be.
Actually, every aspect.
Every aspect.
And it really got tested early on.
Ooh, how?
Because we opened the January the 31st of 2020.
Oh, gosh.
And 6 weeks later, COVID shut the world down. So I was tested right at the beginning. And I remember asking the question like, okay, you knew this was coming. I didn't. So it was a great opportunity in growing my faith.
Yeah.
Because that's all I could do.
Yeah.
That's all I could rely on.
So true. So in other ways, like, what are like the small moments that you turn to your faith, or like what other things about business and faith kind of correlate to you?
Something that, I mean, just happens over and over again, but it may seem small, but I know there's a bigger behind it. Just like when we are asked to do an arrangement for someone, and we always try to get the details, and try to get the behind the scenes information as much as possible. But sometimes we don't know that.
True.
And so we'll design an arrangement and then we'll get a call the next week and they're like, oh my word, like you didn't even know, but like this was their favorite color, or like this was their favorite flower. And like you captured them and we didn't even know.
That is so sweet.
So those kind of moments.
Yeah, that's not just coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yep.
Oh, I love that. What is something about business ownership that's maybe really surprised you?
Community. Again, coming into it and then going through COVID, that was huge during that time.
So true.
That's what got us through and supported us even when we couldn't have our doors open. So we did, whenever I opened the brick and mortar, we did have a base already because I had been doing it for a little bit. But just the community rallying around us, and every small business during that time, honestly. But that's been really huge for us throughout our whole existence.
I'm sure. So in Blluum, what do you feel like is what's the driver? Like, is it events? Is it like, what's kind of the main aspect of the business?
Honestly, it's the day-to-day.
Okay.
Yeah. I learned early on because of what we experienced right after opening that I wasn't going to build my business around events.
Yeah, that was so smart.
And so we spent a couple of years really doing a lot of them. And we kind of backed off of that because we can.
Yes.
And we just really honestly take the ones that we feel called to take because that's not what our focus is. It's not just events.
Yeah.
It's the day-to-day. It's the day-to-day birthday. It's the day-to-day anniversary or, sympathy.
Totally.
So that's really the heart of where we are is the day-to-day.
That's so sweet. What is a task you dread at work that you just kind of have to force yourself to get through?
I can't really think of one.
No? Nothing behind the scenes or financial or anything like that?
Well, paperwork.
Okay. I was like, there's going to be something.
Yeah,
the paperwork. I'm with you.
Paperwork is not my friend, but I'm learning to just get a hold of it just like I have every other aspect.
Yep. Got to take it by the horns.
Yes. So that's probably...
I could see that.
Yeah. It's not a creative thing.
No, I know. I was like, oh, she's thinking like front of house. I'm like, no, I'm thinking like back of house for you. I know you love what you do. Okay, so I want to talk about like running a business in today's world because there's so much tech and just everything's so beastly, between social media and website presence and, just all of it. And it's like, especially, I know for me, as a 35-year-old, it's a lot. So I can't imagine later in life, when you didn't grow up in the digital world per se, how have you kind of tackled that and embraced that and get through all of that? I can't imagine.
It was daunting for a while,
Yeah.
honestly. But I think I changed my focus. So I do have someone that does do the majority of that for us. But I don't let it own us.
Yeah. So good.
We control it. We control it at the
Yes.
pace that works for us, and that's
What
kind
you
of
can
how
do.
I focus
Yeah,
on
that's
on
so
it.
good.
Yeah. Because it can be
love
very
that.
overwhelming. And it's worked for us. It's
Yeah,
working for us. So.
Totally. Yeah, and it's beautiful. I mean, you guys do put out great content, and just can't imagine.
I mean, we don't focus on the likes and the whatever. We just put Blluum out there.
Yes, I love that.
People either
and that
respond or they don't.
shows. Yeah. How do you feel like you handle competition, or, maybe when people are trying to emulate what you're doing, or and they're close by or not close by, how, or even like if you've seen something that inspires you, how do you handle competition even for yourself and put your own spin on it? Talk to me a little about that.
Again, this wasn't something I learned in a class or anything. It's just by doing.
Yeah.
And I've always been, I feel like somebody who stays focused on what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And my personal philosophy with this is that you stay focused on you and what you're doing. And if you start spreading your focus to be worrying about everybody else, then you're going to lose your vision.
So
and
true.
so we stay in our lane in that way, and that we stay focused on our vision.
That is so good.
If we can inspire somebody because they want to emulate us, great.
Yeah.
But it's not changing who we are
Yeah.
and what we're doing. Because I think that becomes a huge distraction if you let your focus go there.
It's so true. Okay, so marrying the gifts with the floral, it makes a lot of sense, right? Hand in hand. But at the same time, it's kind of like you run two different businesses under one roof. What's the secret to that? How have you found your vibe and your groove?
I mean, it's been great because we had the space. Originally, when I looked for a brick and mortar, it was just because I needed a place to work.
Yeah, you're like,
my
I'm done in my garage.
My husband wanted his garage back.
Yes.
And so I just needed space to spread out and work. And so that was the original intent. But then I had this extra space. And I'm like, we didn't have a gift shop over on our part of town. And so it was just like a natural fit. But I didn't want it to be like a floral gift shop. I wanted it to be a true gift shop.
It is, yeah.
And so that was our thought at the very beginning. And we've just continued to carry that through.
That's so good.
And it's worked great. Our community, they appreciate it. And, they can easily get in and out and get everything most of the time
so
that they
true.
want. So
Yeah.
it's worked well. So I think it just has blended together perfectly. And we continue to grow, it in different ways too.
So it's sweet to me that you, and just like fascinating, as a woman entrepreneur and just a person in general, it's like you didn't set out with this big strategy going to find your brick and mortar. You kind of just like let your gut lead and, went with what felt right in the moment. And that's really served you, which is amazing.
It's true. I mean, I honestly looked for a good 7 or 8 months trying to find a space.
Just for the floral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so you were probably limited because you didn't need thousands of square feet. Yeah.
No, I didn't. And so, I'm a big believer in doors open and the doors close. And every possibility kept closing. And then one day I was driving by our location that we're at. And I mean, I'd been by there many times.
Yeah.
I mean, I live over there. And so I don't know, just something just made me take note of
Wow.
it. And so I pulled up and I looked inside and I'm like, I don't think I'd have to hardly do anything to this space.
It's true. It's beautiful.
And so, we did it. We didn't, and the doors, I mean, everything just fell into place.
Yeah. That's so
like
fun.
they were supposed to.
I love that so much. What would you say is your floral philosophy? What do you want people to feel when they receive flowers or something from Blluum?
I want them to just feel joy and happiness and just unexpected. That's pretty much what we always
You nail
strive
that
to
every
do.
time. Yeah.
We strive to do that. Yep.
So good. Okay, so we talked a little bit about events. Events can be really high pressure. Was that part of why you tapered on events? Was it like, or it was more just the not wanting to rely on events because of who knows the outlier factors?
That number one, because I learned that early on.
Yeah.
But events, there's a whole team that we bring
Yeah.
in. It's not just me or,
Yes.
just the designer that's doing that.
Yes.
It's a whole team of people. And we have a great team. We're
Yes.
small but mighty, and we can do a lot of things. But you really don't often find the clients that understand the value that goes into an event
Totally.
on the scale that we strive to do it
That
at.
you want to do it. Totally.
And so when we have those clients that come along, I mean, they truly appreciate what it is that we do. And that's what we do for them.
Yeah.
But there's, so maybe market,
Yeah.
maybe the market isn't there
Yeah.
for
I could see that.
like that. It is for the ones that we decide
Yeah.
to
So
do.
you kind of just have become a little more picky and choosy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
good.
okay.
Find your right fit. Exactly.
That's right. Yeah. We may not be the right fit for everybody,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's so important. Is there a specific kind of customer gifting moment that sticks out to you, whether it was like from the gift shop or Florals, that just really was special?
A gifting moment. Yeah. I had a client come in, and because the gifting is a big side of
Mm-hmm.
what we do, and we offer a concierge service so they can just call us and we'll make it happen for them.
So nice.
And they had a huge moment with in their life involving their physician, and they wanted us to put together this huge, gift to them, and so we did, and just we knew the heart, that was coming from them towards this
Yeah.
person, and then when it was received and they were like speechless, that those kind of moments, we love those
That's
kind
so
of moments.
rewarding.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Wow.
And knowing that you're a part of just life moments for people.
Totally. That's so special.
Yep.
Oh, so as a creator all day, do you feel like you ever get burned out? Like, are there days where you're running thin, and kind of how do you push past that? Or maybe not. How do you take care of yourself in those moments?
Yeah, I've not always been the greatest at taking care of myself.
Same.
But I love what I do.
I know.
And so there really are a lot of moments that I don't like doing what I do. If it's mundane, I mean, we tell people all the time, we are not your cookie cutter florist.
No.
So we're not that. So if something's feeling very mundane and monotonous, that might be a moment
Yeah.
where I'm like, okay,
I could see
gotta
that.
change this up.
Has the meaning of Blluum changed since you opened?
I don't think it's changed. I think who we are today is who we were in the beginning. It's just grown and it's become more clear.
That's so sweet.
I think it's just become very clear. I mean, we'll have, customers tell us like nobody does it like this, or, just we feel what you're doing. And so that's when we know we've,
Yeah, you've succeeded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears a little bit, Christine.
okay.
So one thing I love about Heart of the City is that we've been able to kind of dive deeper into people's stories,
Okay.
and people have really opened up with us and with me, which has been really special. And several weeks ago, you came to me with some personal news that has been a big piece of your journey that's affected your personal life and your business and everything surrounding your life. And it's truly an honor that you want to open up and share that story with me and with Heart of the City today. So I am just going to give you some space to share and kind of let us know what's going on in your world in this season. And then, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay. Yes, this season has been very, very different from me normally being in control of everything in my life, or at least trying to be. I think when you first asked me to do this was back in May. And at that point, I was actually catching a flight to go welcome my new grandson,
No, so sweet.
which was amazing. But what was also going on at that time, that had actually started the latter part of March, was just I had gone for my annual physical and some things were not looking right. And so that started this path of, okay, let's look at this and let's look at this. And so that continued and until I ended up having to have a CT scan of my heart. Heart's great, no problem there. But they found a lung nodule. And so the standard protocol based on the size and all of that was we would rescan in 6 months and just see if it's changed because they're usually fine and everything's okay. And so I sat with that for like a week or so. And then I was having, I had a call with my practitioner again. And I just couldn't quite shake that I needed to, with the clinical background I have, like, I know that standard protocol to wait 6 months, and literally what I said to her was, I don't want to get to 6 months and then I could have been doing something for all of those 6
So
months
true.
because it ended up being something else. And so she totally got it. She's great. And she said, okay, these are some things that we can do.
Yeah.
And so we did, she scheduled me for another scan. We scheduled lab work to be done. And one of those was a cancer screening test that she recommended that we do. It's pretty cutting edge and it's very, very good at detecting things very early. And so, great. Let's do
explore
it.
it all.
So I had the lab drawn for that, and it takes like 3 to 4 weeks for the results to come back. And so it was on a Thursday that I got the news that it was detecting cancer cells in my blood. And that was a really overwhelming moment for me. Honestly, probably the hardest thing that I've ever tried to process.
Do you get those results like on a screen or is it on the phone?
This was on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oof.
this was actually over the phone. And I'm, again, somebody who's always fixing things or, making things happen. And then this is something you have no control over.
It's happening to you.
And it's happening to me. Yeah. And so my team didn't know anything. I just said, I just need some time. I just need to go process a few things. We had some things coming up that we were going to be doing. And I'm like, I just need some time to think. And so I got in my car. I went and told my husband first. And we were both just like in shock. And then I literally drove around for 3 hours.
Wow.
I just drove around trying to just think through all of this. How can this be happening? What do I need to do next? Even though, she'd already told me. But it was just a lot. It was just a lot. And so the next morning, I was on a flight to Fort Worth, which is where she's at, and to go get another scan, very detailed MRI, basically. It's called a Pernuvo test, to get that done and to have more blood drawn. Because at this point, we don't know where it is. We don't know, what kind, or we don't know. We just know it's in there.
Right.
And so that's, I got on the flight to head down there, and it was the early flight. And I'm sitting in my seat, and then there's this gentleman coming down the airline, and he's sitting next to me. And he was one of my clients. And
Wow.
And he's the most amazing, positive person I think that I have ever met. I've never spoken to him. I've never, seen him out and about where he wasn't just like so happy and so positive.
Sweet.
And so he had no idea. But I knew in that moment, like I call them God winks, but in that moment I knew just him sitting there on that flight to Atlanta from Chattanooga. And he actually was he was going to DFW too, but we weren't on the same, next to each other on the next flight. But he just brought this reassurance to me that everything was going to be okay. And so I knew that it was going to be okay.
Yeah.
Even though there were moments of losing it and I knew nothing. Right. So, I literally land and go straight to, getting the scan done, and then going to get the blood drawn, and the testing wouldn't be complete for like 4 more weeks. And so it was just waiting.
The waiting game.
So we've been waiting, and so anyway, so then those results we got back, and it's definitely there. But the best way that they could tell me is that the doctors who are reading the test, doing the test in the lab, are like, it doesn't have a home. Like, we can't identify a home, because usually they can do that by, they look at the cells and they know that. And so we truly had felt like we caught it really early, which is the whole point of the test and everything. And then in the back of my mind, I'm remembering I have this lung nodule, and I'm like, okay. And so anyway, but during that time as soon as I found out that this was going on, my practitioner had given me a list of books that she recommended maybe I start reading. And so I started just delving into that and researching and just making myself as knowledgeable as I possibly could on whatever I didn't know yet.
Yeah.
But what can I do?
Yep.
So again, how can I
grasp
take
at
control
some
of this?
control?
And,
Yes.
Yeah. And so I literally, unbeknownst to her, actually, I just started doing stuff. I mean, the books were, so one of my favorite classes in nursing school was research, because I like to find the trends, and I like to find the commonality, things that are popping up. And so that's what I did. All of these books, as I was taking them in, they were showing me certain things that were very consistent and what to do. And what people who have beat cancer and all of that, what they've done. And so I started doing all of those things. And while we're waiting on this other test to come back, she's retesting some blood that I had done for my physical. So it would be the 3-month mark from that, because I was like, my inflammation markers were up. Insulin resistant was like at the top of the scale. Like, so many things that women my age are hearing, about themselves. And so she wanted to do a check-in and let's see where we're at with all of that. Well, she didn't know that I had been doing my things,
your own things
for 2 weeks leading up to that. And so we do that blood draw, and that comes back like
night and day.
Amazing.
Wow.
Like literally everything is pretty much in the normal range.
Oh my goodness.
There were a couple of things that we're, still going to watch, but it was like unbelievable that
after
in 2 weeks time, and I'm talking about like major like diet shifts, just a lot of things, but it worked. That was, at least I could see that it was working.
That's
as
rewarding.
What I was hoping.
Yes.
So then we get these other test results back, and we know that it is there. They can't tell me where it is, and so we're in consultation with the oncologist, and they order a PET scan, and that has now come back, and they're not finding it. Like, it's not like that's like a significant diagnostic tool typically for cancer, because it'll pick up metabolic activity anywhere in the body that those cancer cells are like migrating to.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not showing it.
What?
So we know we've caught it super early.
Yeah, thank goodness.
And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm scheduled to follow up with the oncologist. He's going to be following this, and we're doing more labs. And the other great thing about that test is that it told us specifically what the cancer was reacted to, conventionally and alternatively. And so, because they're tested in the lab with those things.
So what was that
And
data?
so it came back it's amazing because I know exactly if this matures and becomes a tumor, we know the, chemo medications or whatever that specifically
Will
will
target
target it and be effective against it. And in the meantime, the natural substances that it picked up, I'm on all of them. Like they've got me on all of them.
Wow.
And so, I'm doing
Literally
everything that I can do. And part of that is learning to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And just that's been a whole journey. I think when I first talked with you and Sally about this news, in that conversation, you had mentioned somebody that maybe I should look into, what they do and if it could help me. And they have. Rev has been transformational for me. I can't even.
Wow.
I don't even know how to describe it to people.
Same.
I just say go to their
Oh, that gives me
website
chills.
because
Yeah,
I
know.
don't know how to explain it, but I feel like a completely different person.
Wow.
And I kind of look at this journey, and I think just your well-being, your health, whatever, you're the CEO of it. Your practitioners are those people that come together to help you with that.
Or
Are
your board of
members.
advisors. Yes, that's so true. Wow.
And that's how they all have been. One has led to another and to
Wow.
another. And it's just been amazing to see and just to receive what it is that they each do, whatever their specialty is. Faith has been a huge part of this. I drove around for 3 hours, and one of the things that I started doing before I knew what were in the books was I literally just started speaking the word over my body every single day. And I still do
Wow.
that. This is day 59.
Wow.
And I do that every single day because it just gives me strength.
Wow.
And I know that word is healing to me, and I feel it. And I know that, and also for wisdom to just
Of course.
know who to see and who can help you with these different
So true.
different parts. The oncologist that we're working with, not all oncologists would be open
No.
to things they're unfamiliar with, but yet are definitive. And so he is, and I'm just very thankful
So
that
true.
those people have been,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
placed in my path.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you have been through a lot in the last several months. What has your day-to-day looked like since you kind of start reading the books and have done the research? Like, what are some of those I'm sure it's extensive and we could be here all day for you to tell me every little nitty-gritty, but what have been kind of the main things that you feel like have been super big lifestyle shifts?
Just how I start my day.
Okay.
It's how I start my day. Instead of getting up and just racing off to work or whatever, one of the first things I did also was just I got up when the sun was coming up, and I reset my circadian rhythm and spent time out in the sun, 20 minutes, but just 20 minutes out in the sun, and then just starting the day off with just a real meditative time.
Wow.
Speaking those words over me
Yes.
and all of that, but just that's how I start my day now.
Totally.
And that's different a lot because I was just like always going. And then just how I'm eating.
Yeah.
I thought I was a pretty healthy eater. I'm a vegetarian. Like,
Right.
that's supposed to be
Right.
healthy, right? Well, no. There's just, I had a lot to perfect, and I'm still doing that.
Right.
But just really learning about what I'm putting in my body, and I want it to be healing to me, and learning all of those things. Like, I feel like I'm learning so much, and I thought I knew so much,
Yeah.
and I really knew very little.
Wow.
So those are probably two of the
Biggest.
biggest things.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
And I don't consider myself to be like stress. Like, I'd never thought stress was a big thing
Yeah.
for me. But I think just really focusing on how not reacting to things like that may happen throughout the day.
Yeah. Like you have control over your reaction.
Yeah.
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 Wow. That's
So-
so commendable. So I remember when we sat down, a few months ago and you shared this, one thing that stuck out is you were like, I'm sure some people are going to think I'm crazy, but, this is what I'm doing for me and I'm doing everything I can. And that kind of just stuck with me because it was, it's a shame that people would think we're crazy for taking our own health or healing or doing what we need to do to feel like we're on the right path. What has some of that looked like for you, processing that kind of maybe skepticism or worry about what others would think or something?
What I have learned early on with this, and this is just a great life lesson to understand, is you own your health. You own what it is that's going on with you and you're doing. And tune out all of the chatter, all of the distraction, all of that around you, and surround yourself with
true.
those people who support you and are going to see you through with it. You're naturally going to know. You're naturally, because it's happened. You see the people who are skeptical, or I don't even tell people what I'm doing.
No,
Like,
I don't
just
blame you.
don't.
Yeah.
Because it's
You don't need their feedback.
No, I don't. I don't need that negative feedback if somebody's got it.
Or even positive. You're like, I don't need it. I've already decided this is what I'm doing. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm happy to share if somebody wants to know, but I don't, like, it doesn't define what I'm doing or anything like that. So I have really learned very quickly to just, my circle's close.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That's so good. Yeah. I also really commend and love the way, maybe just resonate with the way you're embracing such a blend of like holistic and modern medicine. It's not like you're running away from what your, your first doctor team was saying, or, you're seeking kind of all avenues and you're taking what feels right to you. And I think that's so amazing when we embrace that power of, like you said, that control of our own health, of our own story.
Yes.
It's just...
And that's the way it should be.
Yes.
It should be a collaborative effort to heal a person. And I grew up with old school training with medicine, and that's what I still believe.
Which is why I'm proud of you. Yeah. It's like, it's probably hard to unlearn some of that, if some of it needs to be unlearned,
Yeah. It's just, they really can work so well together.
Yes.
And it's like the oncologist has said, we can't treat me with conventional something when we don't even know where it is.
No.
So in the meantime, you have to do the things that it is showing that aren't that conventional, side of medicine to, try to do something.
Right.
So,
you could have easily waited the 6 months and not starved the cancer, and then you probably would have known exactly where it's living.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that is so huge.
Yep.
Has anything you've tried or learned like surprised you a lot?
Just seeing what happened in 2 weeks' time to my lab work was, I've read about that and I've heard people say stuff about that, but it really does make a difference.
It's sad that we have to wait to get a diagnosis like this to be motivated to try it. And I'm literally talking to myself because,
Yeah. And I had heard all these things and I know all these things, but then when you're faced with a life or death situation, you very quickly adapt and you very quickly put into, at least I did, put into motion everything that I possibly could.
How has this season like changed the way you or maybe even your family view like health and wellness?
Man, it's changed everything. It's changed everything. I mean, I don't take a moment for granted. One of the other things that I do every morning is I do journaling, but part of it is a gratitude journal. Like is starting off with that and just truly focusing on the things that you have to be thankful for, because they could not be there tomorrow. And so that that's changed. It's changed me, but it's changed my family too. I mean, they're all very much aware of what I'm doing. And I mean, I've even had people that I know that haven't seen me in a minute, and they're just like,
Wow.
you're just like different. And they don't even know. Like, they don't even know. Nobody knows.
No.
Very small circle know anything. And so it's
Wow.
it's just changed. It's just
Yeah.
changed me and all of us.
Yeah, I remember one thing you said when we first talked was, I want to be able to own my story in this, and I don't want it to just start, being hearsay or getting out or, and you've stuck true to that. It sounds like you really have kept
Absolutely.
it tight. And yeah, and sharing today, I just commend you, and I'm so thankful for your vulnerability and your willingness to share, because I do think there are so many people that will benefit from this story and from your journey, and just all the things I feel like your influence in the city is going to go far beyond now what we even thought your legacy was, and the way that you can share this experience and just how soft and kind and wonderful you are with people. I think that this is going to be so powerful for so many people. So
There's hope. Like, there's never not hope.
yeah.
And another thing that I've really learned is you don't ever know what somebody's life is like what's really going on with them. And, but people will come into your path and you will come into people's paths, and those are all for reasons. And just know that everybody's got a story and there's something going on, even though we may not see it. And if we can make any kind of difference for that, then that's beautiful.
Beautiful. Did you ever tell the man on the plane what you were dealing with?
No,
And how
he doesn't
inspiring
know.
he was? Oh, he probably will.
He doesn't know.
What is a moment where you surprised yourself, like with your own strength and all of this?
I think in just talking to you about it when I
Aw.
first did, that was really hard because, everybody says, don't be vulnerable or whatever, but I've learned that there's strength in it. And that was really a huge growth moment for me, because it was just so new and it was just so everything.
Yeah.
And so just learning to be vulnerable
So sweet.
has been a huge, huge growth thing.
So powerful. Yeah.
We shouldn't be afraid of that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And look what it's led to. I mean, this is going to open doors for so many people and so many to impact. And yeah.
I hope so.
And, yeah. It
And
really will.
it's just a release. Like, you have to
Totally.
release those things if you truly want to heal.
Totally. That's
can't
so
hold
true.
it all in.
That tension. Yeah. So good. So good.
It doesn't define my business. It doesn't
No.
it's just a part of my life right
Yeah.
now that I'm walking.
So true. So I know when we first talked, you were worried and nervous about all the impacts this is going to have, of course, personally, but your business is like a baby and it is such a big part of you. How has that been over the past couple months? Have you put systems in place? Have you thought a little bit more forward thinking than you were before? Like, what has shifted there in terms of what if the face and owner and CEO of the business is not present? What does that look like?
So we have been implementing that
Wow.
all summer long.
Wow.
And I mean, I just have a great team. I have a great team, and they all know all the different parts. And so I don't have to be there for those to happen.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately where you want to be as a business.
Totally.
And so, I mean, I have a great team.
So sweet.
They can handle things when I'm not there, and they know how to reach me if they need me.
Yeah.
Because I've had to be gone getting, going to go get tests done and all of that.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
it's
It's like you're putting it into practice.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll never be the case, but it's still so good as a business owner to put those things into motion
Yes.
and have those systems in place. So
Yes,
it'll be good
absolutely.
either way. That's
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
Okay, zooming out a little bit, I'm sure you've been a little reflective over the summer and you've started thinking just about life and all the things. I can't imagine what a whirlwind it's been mentally and emotionally, but what is like one time in your life, if you could relive it just to feel it again, that you would?
What is one time in my life?
Time or moment or experience? What's something that you just cherish that makes you feel so alive?
Seeing my grandson.
Oh, that's such a sweet one.
That was actually at the time that he was born, I didn't know this yet. We had,
Wow.
there were things that were going on, but I didn't know that. But that moment, holding him for the first time, and everybody has said, like being a grandparent is like the best thing ever. But it really, truly is. It fills a part of your heart that you didn't even
So
know was empty.
sweet. That's so sweet.
So much joy, and just I can't even describe it. So being a
Wow.
Coco is the best thing ever.
Aw,
And I would
Coco.
totally relive that moment again, because it's just like all the moments of your life, like getting married and then having your own children, and then now you have this grandchild.
That's so
It's like
sweet.
all of that coming
It's
together.
like it led to this.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, exactly.
That is
Yep.
so true. It is a part of your legacy. It's wild. Oh. If you could go back to yourself the first day you opened Blluum, or even in those first few days, what would you tell yourself, knowing what you know now?
You've got this.
Yeah, so good.
You've got this.
So good.
Because if I had known everything that was going to be coming or that I would have to go through there's no way I would have ever done it.
No.
That's why you don't know those things. Like you just
It's so true. You're protected.
Yeah, you just go into it. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And you take one thing at a time.
Yeah, so true. All right, Christine, final question, fill in the blank. The heart of Blluum is?
Our community. Our people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again for sharing your story. And I'm so proud
Thank
of you.
you.
I just am so inspired by you. And I'm so grateful that you felt comfortable to share with Heart of the City this incredible journey that you're on, for better, for worse. And we're here for you.
Thank you.
Thanks.